Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is time for us to take a look at the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. But before we jump into that, as per usual, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you fancy it, drop a comment too. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping that channel too. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Resplendent glory. And to me, this box looks great. This box contains a lot of stuff too. So, not only are we getting 70 brand new minis, well, over 70 brand new minis, we get 4 scenery pieces that are completely brand new. We get a double-sided playmat for Spearhead, we get the new core rulebook, we get range guides, cards for both the General's Handbook and Spearhead campaigns, and we also get the Spearhead scenario guide as well. So we get a lot of stuff in that box, and it is a bumper box to kick off what can only be described as the Rat Wars. So the bigger question is, what has led us to this point? Since the onslaught brought down upon the cities of Sigmar and the Stormbringer Crusades by the Greenskins, new challenges have arose. Soulblight activities have increased with them looking to strengthen their grip on the regions under their protection while fighting off the support for Sigmar in those said regions, protecting essentially their feeding grounds. New foulnesses have arose within the cities of Sigmar too, including in such cities such as Cinderfall, where corrupted wine spread the King's Blood curse. This new threat could not only kill the hardiest of warriors, but also could mutate those unlucky enough into flesh eaters, all while a new Mortarch of Nagash appeared to lead the flesh eaters as the Mortarch of Delusion. But even with threats such as these posing such a risk and danger to the mortals of the mortal realms, a new, bigger threat has been looming and growing in the background. A threat that, in some cases, had slipped into myth and legend, and a bit of a horror story to tell unruly children at bedtime. So, in the subrealm of Blight City, the Skaven have begun to unify once again. After years of starvation, civil war, and scheme upon scheme, the children of the Great Horned Rat have set their sights on the human settlements, and bringing large-scale war against the denizens of the realms. By utilising portals between realities known as Norholes, the Skaven have emerged en masse to assault the cities of Sigmar, bringing with them weapons of war powered by the raw essence of chaos known as Warpstone, huge mutants in the shape of creatures such as rat ogres, and using the potent magical abilities of Grey Seers, and using just sheer overwhelming numbers of slaves, clan rats, and much, much more, the Skaven are going to prove to be a force to be contended with. But the followers of Sigmar are never unprotected. After the gates of Azir were opened to reclaim the realms from the Age of Chaos, demigod warriors have stood firm against the hordes. So, the Stormcast Eternals are powerful, strong, and very deadly. The warriors, wrought from legend, semi-immortal beings clad in Sigmarite, the Stormcast Eternals are the reforged souls of heroes lifted up by the god King Sigmar to wage war against those that would look to destroy the realms or its people. But the price of being a Stormcast is a costly one. Blessed with extremely long life and the ability to be reforged after dying many times over to live and fight once more, the Stormcasts have been ever decaying, forgetting the mortal lives they once had to become a living weapon, but always edging towards the tempest of a storm. A new wave of Stormcasts is required to fight the Ratmen of the Skaven Empire, a variation of Stormcast who can face down the insanity of the Skaven and potentially take the fight into the twisted sub-realm of the Ratmen itself. So, there is more story to come before we embark on this completely new edition, and the lore of the Age of Sigmar setting is getting better and better in my opinion. It is gaining a lot of traction and becoming more fleshed out into the high fantasy universe that we believe it should be. So, what do we know about the new Stormcast Eternals? Well, aside from GW deciding to move away from the golden poster boys of the Hammers of Sigmar, they have gone for the grimier colour scheme of the Hallowed Knights. Their steel coloured armour makes a very nice change and lends itself to a better, darker aesthetic at the same time. So, we have a new focus for our adventures in the mortal realms, and we have some new reimaginings of some of the much beloved Stormcasts that have been discontinued, and accompanying them are the hosts from the newly opened Ruination Chamber. Leading the way with these is Sigmar's glorious new hosts, is the new Lord Vigilant on Gryffstalker, a commander of the Black Citadel's monasteries that act as home of the Stormcast who are approaching their final reforging. The Lord Vigilant wield hallowed great axes, with skill even while astride their mount. Gryffstalkers are a relation to the Gryff Charger, with the unique ability to mark an enemy for death, leeching life force from them, transferring that energy to their rider in an act that is very similar to necromantic hexes. Then we have the new Lord Veritant, servant of the God King with an extreme hatred for chaos. They come equipped with a striking flame-wreathed judgment blade, a curse-breaking staff of abjuration, and they are accompanied by a Gryff Crow, whereas they slay sorcerers and heretics from all across the mortal realms. We also get the new Lord Terminos, accompanied by their Memorian Squire, who recount their battle honours to keep them tethered to the here and now. The Lord Terminos has the unique job of not only using that huge blade Terminos to slay the enemies of Sigmar, but also to perform the rites of last threshold, taking the heads of soul-stricken Stormcast who voluntarily wish to enter oblivion. Then comes the new iteration of the Night Quester. The unshackled heroes of the mortal realms, the Night Quester roves the realms to complete missions bestowed upon them by Sigmar himself. While not being part of the actual Ruination Chambers, they are some of the very, very few Stormcast that can request aid from the soul-stricken powerhouses to complete their tasks. We also get the new troops. So, while immortality can be seen as a blessing to some, the reforging gradually erodes the souls of the Stormcast Eternals, ebbing away memories and humanity, slowly leading them to join the ranks of the Ruination Chambers. This is where these demigods become Reclusians. While they do not falter from their tasks and their duties, they are accompanied by the Memorians, who are mortal priests who are mostly descended from the pre-reforged lineage of the Stormcast they accompany, helping to prevent their memories slipping away during battle. Then we get the new version of Prosecutors. So the Prosecutors fought tirelessly as members of the Warrior Chambers, unleashed into the mortal realms to bring an end to the Age of Chaos. They have not been free from their own perils. Prolonged exposure flying through the cursed skies of the mortal realms have taken their toll on these angelic avengers. Now many of these flame-winged heralds have joined the ruination chambers and surge forth to assault the enemy with javelins formed of crackling lightning. And lastly, we have the updated Liberators. The unbreakable backbone of many Stormcast armies, they have now been clad in the new Thunderstrike armour, carrying their faithful mighty Sigmarite Warhammers and a shield emblazoned with Sigmar's visage. The Liberators are in a position to lay the smackdown on any of Sigmar's foes. But what of the twisted chaos spawn of the Great Horned Rat? The hordes of Ratkin are led to battle by a Clawlord on Nor Beast, rulers of the clans Verminous. A Clawlord commands a vast tide of Skaven soldiers making up the armies of the Great Horned Rat, achieving their position in typical Skaven style with vicious violence and their aptitude for scheming. Given the prestige or having gained a favour from the clan's moulder, they may ride into battle atop a horrifying Norbeast, a mutant that is in a constant state of a feeding frenzy. Accompanying many Skaven armies, though, are the Masters of Chaos Sorcery, prophets of the Great Horned Rat, the Grey Seer. Manipulating Skavendom from the shadows, weaving complex schemes and using potent spells, they genuinely hold no true allegiance to any one Skaven clan. They do, though, look to further the Skaven cause to their own designs, but with great cunning also comes great paranoia. Then we have some units for them. So there is the hulking brutes of the Skaven Empire, known mostly as Rat Ogres. The prize creations of the clan's Moulder, a terrifying mixture of rodent and ogres. With the application of Warpstone, Rat Ogres are dim-witted with a knack for pure violence, ripping enemies from limb to limb, and in case blasting them with warpfire guns that have been grafted to their arms. Then we have the clan Scryer throwing their lot in as well. The rattling Warp Blaster is a clanking machine from the twisted mind of the clan Scryer. This multi-barreled weapon is designed to shred enemies in no time at all, while being operated by an acolyte of the clan Scryer and staying at a range. Also from the twisted minds of the clan Scryer, the Warlock Engineer is the counterpoint to a Grey Seer. Their verminous minds focus solely on creating and using deadly weaponry against the enemies of the Skaven Empire. Not only do they create the weapons, but they help maintain them, and in many instances use their cunning technology to guide Warplock Jezzail teams eliminate enemies from afar, taking up part of the usual Skaven command area at the back of the army. Warplock Jezzails have been redesigned, so these crafty little fellas hold ranged combat in their highest regard, using sniper rifles to fire shards of crystallized warpstone across battlefields and through enemy commanders without getting too close, while also kind of benefiting from being behind a colleague that is holding a defensive shield and bracing the rifle itself. And lastly, we actually come to the bulk of the fighting force of the Skaven Empires, the Clan Rats. So, these are genuinely the dregs of Skaven society. Thrown into disorganised mobs, their life expectancy is pretty low for all but the sneakiest. Their main objective is to use their overwhelming numbers to take down greater enemies. Now, for me, I personally think this is a really exciting time to be a fan of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Not only will we be embarking on a new chapter in the history of the high fantasy setting, but we are also getting a lot of new minis and great stories to join them. I'm personally looking forward to seeing what else comes from the team at GW and seeing what they've been up to. Will we see new iterations of other now discontinued Stormcast Eternals, such as the Knights Azeroth, Paladins and Castigators? Will we see new units of the Twisted Skaven, such as new Storm Vermin, or more of vile creations of a clan's Moulder, or even the ingenuity of Clan Scryer? Who knows? Whatever happens, I'm sure it will be fun. Now, from a more of a painting point of view, personally, I look forward to all of this. I enjoy painting new minis. I kind of enjoy painting Stormcast. They are a little bit dull at times, but in all honesty, I am looking forward to getting these new Stormcasts and adding them to my Lions of Sigmar army, which has kind of been a bit stagnant recently, but with the newest edition, with having the Vindictors and such like, it has been really, really good fun, and I'm really, really looking forward to adding these new minis to those ranks as well. So, Warhammer Age of Sigmar SKAVENTIDE is the new big box. It'll be launching sometime this summer. I'm sure that we'll have more to say about it in the upcoming weeks leading to its release, but for now, thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.